So you're sick, huh? Well, that sucks. I'm sick too, I get it. You don't need to think of this as a setback, however. It could be an opportunity. I was inspired to make this video because I feel like a pile of dog shit, but I don't want to stop training and I don't want to stop making content for all of you. I'm the type of guy that if I'm not making progress in something constantly, I start to feel like I'm going insane. Quick disclaimer, if I'm not a doctor, if you have a doctor giving you conflicting advice, listen to them. I'm not trying to get sued for my hundreds of dollars, right? Also, listen to your body. If your body's telling you to sleep, if your body's telling you to get some water, you need some rest, do that. Just listen to your body, okay? All right, let's get to it. When you're sick, it's a perfect opportunity to test yourselves in ways that you wouldn't normally, such as challenging your balance. That's what we're gonna do right now. The way we're gonna do this is with shin blocks. I'm gonna do a shin block to the lead side, shin block to the rear side with the added long guard. Now notice when I do the shin block, I'm bringing the knee to the inside of the elbow, nice and stable, keeping my chin down. And now I'm gonna transition from the shin block to a teep. Back to the shin block, teep, back to the shin block, teep, back to the shin block, teep, back to the shin block. Now I'm gonna add a step knee, shin block, step in, rear knee, back to the shin block, step in, rear knee, back to the shin block. One more time. Now, let's go rear shin block, step in, lead knee. Shin block, step, knee. Shin block, step, knee. Now for this last one, let's bring it all together. This one's tricky. Shin block, teep, step, knee, back to the block. Rear side, shin block, teep, step, knee, back to shin block. One more time. Shin block, step, knee with the teep. Shin block, teep, step, knee. Shin block, teep, step, knee. Give that a shot. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna target our muscles, but just a bit. I don't want to go overboard by lifting weights or anything that takes a lot of exertion. I'm just going to do some body weight stuff, not too much, just a bit, to make sure to maintain a little bit of my strength. And I'm going to work some stabilizer muscles, which is something that might be neglected in your daily routine. So this is going to be a little bit of a flow between 3 movements. It's kind of like yoga, but for beasts, all right? Starts off with a Judo push-up. I imagine that there's a bar across, going hands wide, feet wide, and I'm ducking my head under, going forward and back. From there, I'm going to a bird dog position, which involves one hand and opposite leg up, one side or the other. Takes a lot of core strength. So it starts off with a Judo push-up, back out to a bird dog. From the bird dog, sit through, back to bird dog. Judo push-up. Other side, bird dog. Sit through, bird dog. Judo push-up. Bird dog. Sit through, bird dog. One more time. All right, you'd be surprised how much core strength this takes, and doing these motions is also great for the stabilizers in your shoulders. If you're a jiu-jitsu fighter, right up your alley. Give it a shot. It's not as easy as it looks. Next, we're gonna challenge our vision. This is something I'm willing to bet that you don't spend enough time working on. Keeping an eye on the ball, so to speak, is important, but having access to your periphery is important as well. A lot of times things will fly at you from these angles, and if you don't see it coming with good peripheral vision, they can catch you unaware and that tends to be what the knockout blow is, believe me. So first, I want to train what I'm going to call our laser vision. Our laser vision is our precise ability to track movement. Now I'm going to use my thumbnail and my fingernail for this exercise, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go thumb up, and I'm going to watch my thumbnail. And I'm going to keep my head in place, but I'm going to track my thumbnail as I start to spiral it outward. Bigger and bigger and bigger. In both directions. You can go inside out, you can go outside in. Point is, keep it moving. And don't take your eyes off of this. Keep your eye on the ball, so to speak. Now do the same thing vertically. Now the thumbnail is just an example. Anything you can lock your eye on would work. I've seen people do this with a pen, for example. Train that ability to focus on the moving object. It can also work diagonals. Either direction, of course. Your eyes, like anything else, have muscles. It helps to train these muscles. Next, I want to work peripheral vision. So this is going to be easy. What I'm going to do is start with my hands in front, and I'm going to get a little spirit fingers going. And I'm going to slowly stretch them out, and I'm going to try to expand the width of my peripheral vision without changing the direction of my eyeball until I can no longer see them. So I'm still seeing it, still seeing it, still seeing it, still seeing it, right about there. It's out of my vision. I'm going to do this a couple times, and I'm going to try to see a little bit farther. So it's almost like letting your eyes go out of focus in order to see everything. So instead of laser vision, this is spotlight vision. That's right about my limit, right about 180 degrees. One more time. This peripheral vision training is largely just being aware that you can do it. So if you practice it like anything else, you'll get better. That's about my limit. Now, you've got your laser vision and your spotlight vision. The laser vision is great for being precise. So if you are trying to strike a target with full power and you want to get it just right, staring at the object is going to help, just like you're trying to hit a baseball. Now, this can start to get predictable in fights though, because people will see what you're looking at and they can tell what you're aiming for. So every now and then you want to throw in some eye feints. And also, if you get too much tunnel vision, you get too laser focused, often stuff can sneak around the side if you don't have that peripheral vision. Now, if you have the peripheral vision, the spotlight vision going at the expense of the laser vision, you can see everything but not any one thing particularly well. So what I want to do is train both at once. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go thumbnails in front, and I'm going to focus on my left thumbnail, laser vision. And then I'm going to track my right thumbnail in the periphery so I can focus on what's in front of me, but notice the movement until about right there. That's happening on the outside. Now we'll do the other side. I'm going to focus on this thumb. But I'm keeping my peripheral vision open. So this is training you to be able to focus on an object so you can do what you need to do, but keep your periphery open so that way nothing sneaks up on you and potentially knocks you out or surprises you. The last challenge I want to cover is great because this applies to anyone regardless of how sick or disabled you are. As long as your brain is working, as long as your brain is functioning, you can practice this, and that is to challenge your mind. Now, there are a million ways to do this. I often just make up little challenges for myself as time goes, but I'll share with you 3 that I think you will find beneficial. So one is just for the sake of focus. What I want you to do is at some point close your eyes and count down from 100 in your head. So go 100, 99, 98, 97, and so on. With me, it helps to visualize a countdown clock in front of my face, and I can watch the numbers drop in, 96, 95, 94, 93, and try to get all the way to 0 without being distracted by any outside thoughts. This is way more difficult than you'd expect. Anytime you get distracted, if you can't immediately focus on the numbers and get back to the pace, then start over. So what I mean is you're seeing 100, 99, 98, 97, you think, oh, my dog Roxy's over there. Ah, damn it, need to start over, right? Now, versus you see 100, 99, 98, 97, you think gray, 96, 95, 94, tile, 93, 92. So if you can keep on pace, keep on going. So that what this will do is this will teach you, it's natural for your mind to wander and get distracted, but to get back on point as quickly as possible is a valuable tool. And if you can focus on one thing, especially something as mundane as a countdown clock, then you can focus on anything, which brings us to challenge number 2. This one is funny. So don't tell anyone you're doing this, but I do this all the time. What I do is I challenge myself to pay 100% attention to someone during a boring conversation. So if they're talking to you and it's something that you don't give a shit about, right? That's the perfect opportunity to practice this. So don't get distracted by what you'd rather be doing. Don't get distracted by your phone. Don't get distracted by the mole on their face. Give them your 100% undivided attention. And if you get distracted, of course that's natural, but get back to it and do your absolute best to give them all of your energy and all of your focus and all of your attentiveness. And you'll be surprised at not only how well this will help you develop focus in every other aspect of your life, but also how well you're going to be received as a good listener, and they're going to end up actually liking you more. But fair warning, that might mean more boring conversations in the future, so just be aware of that. The third thing, which is the most applicable for martial artists, but I think that you need to develop your focus with other easier drills, such as breathing exercises and the countdown drill and that sort of thing beforehand, so that way you really can hone in on something, is to do mental rehearsals of something that you do in the gym, such as a sparring round, whether you're rolling or you're kickboxing, whatever, and imagine it from start to finish and imagine everything going perfectly. And don't just think about the fighting, think about what the mat feels like. Think about what your body feels like. Think about the weight of your gloves. Think about your breathing. Think about how your opponent would be moving. Think about setting the pace. Think about throwing out that first jab and it landing clean. Think about throwing out that feint and they buy it. They open up, boom, you get to hit them with that second shot. They are falling into your traps. They're falling into your tempo. Everything's going right. Every technique is working flawlessly. Now, don't imagine something that's unrealistic, because of course they're going to be throwing stuff back at you, but whatever they throw at you, you're ready for it. You see it. You're ready to dodge it. You're ready to block it. You're ready to counter. You know it's coming. And by rehearsing perfect rounds, each time you do that, subconsciously you're going to get a little bit closer to the reality of that perfect round. Now, of course, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but the more your mind believes that you're capable of landing that jab, of landing that kick, of dodging that punch, the more likely it is to happen in real life. Now, there's all kinds of stories about this sort of thing. There's a legend about a Vietnam POW that was trapped in a cage that mentally rehearsed perfect golf rounds back at his home country club, who supposedly got out of a cage after, 7 years, something like that, and shot 20 holes less than his best score previously. Now, from what I can tell, I don't know if this guy ever existed, but I know people that claim to have met him. Couldn't tell you for sure, but the point of the story is that your subconscious doesn't necessarily know the difference between what you're feeding it from a real life experience and your imagination. So going through these mental rehearsals, especially if you can invoke not only visuals, but feelings, smells, sounds, and really bring yourself into a false reality in your head, and you can reinforce success, and you can reinforce perfection, and you can reinforce winning. And the more you do this, the more likely you are to do this success and this winning in real life. I've used this personally. I've prepared for tournaments where I had no sparring partners, and I just visualized perfect round, perfect round, perfect round. I did this while shadow boxing, perfect round, takedown worked, punches worked, everything worked. And when I got to the tournament, honestly, it worked out damn near exactly the way I rehearsed in my mind. Now, it's not always going to be this way. I understand that something like fighting is complicated and it's difficult. But the thing is that if you don't believe you can land that punch, if you don't believe you can win, you're not going to. You're not going to. You got to be absolutely sure of yourself, and this is the way you get to that point. You need to make yourself believe in the depths of your heart and your soul that you are a winner, that you are going to win that round, that you are successful, you are fast, you are strong, all these things. And that will take you one step closer to being what you hope to be. All right, everybody. I hope you found this talk helpful. I hope you got some ideas here. Now, these are just things that I do when I'm feeling sick or I'm injured, I can't get out of bed, that sort of thing. It's just ideas. You don't need to do exactly what I tell you, but it's a great place to start, and I would recommend walking that fine line, making sure you don't overdo it, but making sure you do something to improve, whether physical or mental. Always improving, okay? Okay, give these things a shot. If you have any questions, comments, please leave it below in the comments. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I want to hear any suggestions you have, any problems you may face. I'm here to help. Okay, take care.